he has, whatever assets he accumulated before you are in his life. Like, seriously, girl. I mean, if you cheated, then I would say, like, yeah, you don't own shite. So if you cheated, then yeah, you should belong to the streets. But most people that I know with prenuptial agreement, they're making sure just guarding the assets that they worked hard for. And I agree. Claiming half of your assets just because you married me, that's just so wrong in my book.
Prenup or no prenup?
You should get a prenup, but I didn't. But because I didn't get married in America. If I had to get married through American court, definitely would do prenup because it saves both of you a headache for the future. And I actually think whether it ends bad or whether it ends good, it's just to have things nice, black and white. Like it's very crystal clear who gets what. It's better.
What if the partner's like, you don't trust me? You want me to sign this piece of paper? I want half of what you have.
I mean, you could put that in writing. Put it in the prenup. Why should the prenup say you're getting nothing?
Oh.
I don't think it should say you're getting nothing. It should just be like, this is what happens if we end things.
Oh.
All the legal shit I've dealt with in my life, and it's a lot, and like, trust me, contracts are better to have than not to have.
If I was the rich one, I would make him sign it. Vice versa? Absolutely not, ladies, don't do it.
Today on Family Law War Story. 2008, I had this client, 27-year marriage, kids were grown, wife has never worked.
Calculation, and it turns out alimony is about $7,000 a month.
Asked me, can we fight it? And I said, sure, we can fight anything, but it's likely you're gonna lose.
To court, I argued and argued, but the judge ordered $7,200 a month in alimony. That week, he sent roses to my office. The note that said, thank you for helping me, but I decided not to divorce her. It's cheaper to keep her. And then he ended up referring me all of his friends.
When it comes to a woman who marries a rich man, and if they didn't sign the prenup and they divorce, somehow she's allowed half. It's like, is that fair to you? It's more of just like, oh, well, now some of that money is mine.
I think it's fair. Look,
that's fair to you?
It's fair in the sense that if me and Kervin were married and we've been together for 10, 15 years, I helped build that.
That's different. I said married a rich man. A woman, she marries a rich guy, and then they split up. She's leaving with half.
She lives in a house that pays $10,000.
She don't need to live in that house.
Here's the reality. If she's not the breadwinner, right? She marries into this relationship, whatever, they break up. He was the breadwinner. So taking care of the household was her job. She just lost her job. You have to take a step back. Oh my God. You don't get to live in your condo if you don't have a job. You go get an apartment.
Oh my God.
Is that not fair?
Let's talk about why I would never agree to a prenup.
So no hate to this creator at all. I actually have a lot of friends that agree with what she says. However, I want to bring a little bit of a different perspective from a law student, so soon to be a lawyer, B, a woman that is planning on making an independent living for herself, and C, a daughter of divorced parents. So let's just start with the loss aspect of things. I understand the argument where people are I don't want to get into this already thinking about divorce, so on and so forth. But I think with anything in life, we need to be a little bit realistic, right? We need to be thinking of the pros and cons and what can go right and what can go wrong in any situation at all, right? To prepare ourselves. Also, not to mention that I think that one of the leading causes of divorces, well, this is statistic, is money, right? So my thing is, why don't we enjoy our marriage? If it's to last forever, it's going to last forever, and this will never be a problem. But if we aren't to last forever, let's just enjoy our marriage while it's there and not be stuck, because a lot of times people are stuck in marriages because they feel like they can't leave because now they're financially dependent on their spouse. And in this case, if we have the money portion out of the way, we can just enjoy each other's presence. And that's not to say, right, that you're not going to get anything out of it because you signed a prenup. There's negotiations. It's a contract. You're allowed to talk about what you think you're owed, what is to be split, what is yours, what is theirs, so on and so forth. That's the whole point of this. You're supposed to discuss this before. And again, you're avoiding the conflict. Also, to protect yourself. I always got told by my mother that you know people in two different ways when you go travel with them and during a divorce. People switch up during divorces. You think that they're the best person ever. And next thing you know, it is a bloodbath. So why not avoid that? And then everything you had amazing with each other literally gets destroyed for the sole factor that now you're arguing about money and assets. And you forgot about all the other good stuff because now you're thinking about that later and not before. I'm not against our money being our money. I think that as a couple, you're supposed to grow together. However, I do think that there are things that are mine. I think that there's things that are yours, and that's totally fine. Also, like with kids, I had divorced parents. Their divorce cost $500 because they did not fight about money. And I like have a great image of both of my parents because of that. And of course, I'm not, getting married with the intent to divorce. I'm marrying intent to be with them forever. And I don't want to divorce my father's kids. But in the off chance I do, they get to see their parents split amicably and see how loving their relationship was prior and not fighting over money. So.
When normal people hear there's no prenup, they think, oh, nobody's getting screwed. To a divorce lawyer, no prenup means both parties are getting screwed.
No agreement and no expectations means they're prey for lawyers to fight over their assets, and fighting equals money. So for heaven's sake, please get a prenup before you get married.
Document, and we got it notarized that if he cheats on me, he has to pay my bill.
A lot of women would happily sign this, but would refuse to sign a prenup. In reality, prenup would do the same thing for you. You put in your clause, if he does this, then I get this. After this period of time, if he does this or this happens, you have something there. And I'm sure that a man will be more than happy to do that for you.
Really not gonna sign a prenup?
No, I'm not signing no prenup. What you got is what I got.
Okay, but I don't understand why would you not want to sign? Basically, our love is real.
Your money is my money. Simple as that.
Okay, why are we going straight to the money? It don't have any. All I'm doing is my lawyers are telling me that I have to protect myself, and it's not from you, but it's just
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Everything that you bring in the house, is mine too.
Nah, because I mean, what did you come with? What did you come with that you deserve to think you just gonna like this is for our own protection. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what you say. It's my money too. Simple as that.
But see, the lawyer said that's what you was gonna do though. They were saying you was not.
No, he didn't.
So what's the point of you not signing the prenup?
The money that you bring home is mine too. Simple as that. End the conversation.
That's crazy. So I guess there ain't gonna be no wedding.
Whatever. It's gonna be a wedding.
Every couple should have 4 bank accounts. The one bank account, and that's your joint account, it pays everything that's a necessity to live. The second account, a savings account, where you both agree to put X amount of dollars of that money in it, and it takes 2 signatures to move it. The third and fourth account, she should have her own bank account, and you should have your own bank account. She can do whatever she want to do. She ain't got to check with you and ask, and you can do whatever you want to do, and you ain't got to check with her and ask. And that way, guess what? The bills are paid, you have a roof over your head and a car to drive. You all are trying to save a little bit of money, and you got to have your own life.
Those 2 joint accounts you have together, the bill paying one and the savings. Should the man put in more money than the woman?
Your check, my check, should go into the account. Then the decision is made how much goes into your personal to do what you want to do, and how much goes into my personal to do what I want to do. Every couple should have 4 bank accounts.
You know you're gonna have to sign a prenup, right?
Can I? No, hold on. Let me fill her in. This is what happened.
Go ahead.
We had a show. Yeah. 2 hours long, by the way.
Yeah. Facts.
She showed up 2 hours late.
Okay.
We told another girl 7 times, hey, stop interrupting. I was addressing that girl. Stop interrupting. And then Asian doll says, you're mean. And I said, excuse me. I had told her 7 times prior to stop doing that. That's why I said that.
That wasn't your tone, though. That wasn't your energy.
The tone is irrelevant because I was speaking to this girl, not necessarily to her. Then she interjects and says, well, you're mean, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is what happened, etc. Mind you, we had given her a drink, showed her a lot of love. She showed up late, plugged her stuff,
but you said you didn't know Asian doll.
Let me finish.
And now you knew Asian
doll.
He
knew her.
I knew her.
He invited her. He recruited her for the show. So I didn't know who she was. So on the strength of him, we brought her on the platform.
Okay.
So that's what happened, right? So she interjects to try to protect her. I tell her what happened. She says, you a mean ass nigga. That's when I stopped the show and said, yo, what's your problem, etc. And then we got into the thing. But she disrespected me blatantly on the platform. And that's when I told her to leave because she tried to address the situation she knew nothing
She got
about.
up and left.
Next day, she goes and says, I was protecting a black woman. No, she was not. She just looked stupid and she had to protect herself and fill that narrative of, let me say this because I know I'm going to get a lot of backing on that. And then what happened was Shade Room took that and made it look like I was attacking her when in reality I was talking to the other girl. And on top of that, Asian doll.
They apologized too.
And they apologized because Shade Room did not have it right. And then on top of that, they pulled up tweets of Asian doll actually saying way worse things about black women than I did, saying African bitches are ugly, they're dark, no one wants a dark-skinned bitch.
I still got receipts of you disrespecting. I still got receipts.
Here's the difference. We make fun of everyone. We have fun with it. It's satire. She does it on Twitter openly, disrespectful. She's a musician. She ain't no comedian.
But I feel like we're like going to one like specific area of like this conversation and debate. Like, but look, it was just one story. Okay,
no, you want to have this conversation.
We can still have it. We're opening.
We're talking about line by line what happened with Asian doll.
Okay,
how she used a tweet to try to say I'm protecting the black woman when she wasn't. She just got shown that she was dumb, and that's
I respect that. I respect the Asian doll. You're absolutely right. You already explained it. You already explained it though. You already explained it. I already got the full conclusion about the Asian doll shit. But you're trying to drag the other shit that I got receipts on still.
You're dragging this.
You're still. You're annoying as fuck.
You're dragging this.
You're annoying as fuck.
Show me I'm annoying.
Oh, you hot?
I'll leave too.
Oh, you hot?
Me and you both walk out this fucking door.
Oh, you hot?
So what's up?
Y'all handle it.
listen,
Y'all
you
handle it. You hot?
Slap her?
You hot?
Please
You talk like this before and move her. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to tread light. This is a conversation between me and you and him. I'm just trying to tread light. This is like your bitch. I don't know if she's sucking your dick or some shit. Because she's lit right now.
Okay.
Bitch, what? You're pissing me off, bitch. I'm so tired of these bitch. Shut the fuck up.
What you gonna do?
Relax.
You triggered.
My trolling. You really triggered. You're really triggered.
You been talking the same shit. Get the fuck out, bitch.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Nah, I am gonna go.
Bye.
This bitch is hot.
Bye. Chill. Sit down. Bye. Relax.
No, not that way.
No. Let her walk past you. Let her walk past you.
No. You're gonna go this way.
Bitch, you don't gotta do none of that. That bitch is not touching.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
We could have had an educational conversation.
Just chill. She walking away.
Relax. Ain't nobody gonna touch your body.
Relax.
So just go ahead and get her out. Yo, let's go. Get out.
Relax. It's gonna happen.
You did this for a bitch. You're lame as fuck. Bye. Adios. The fuck, adios, buenas noches, baby.
Like, what the fuck?
And you really not putting a rich nigga to sleep, and that's a fact.
Why she keep talking? Like, get the fuck out. Why did you come?
Listen.
You all heard her say before the shit started.